A pair of graffiti vandals are causing thousands of pounds worth of damage, repeatedly spraying trains and other railway property. One so brazen he even defaces a carriage while passengers are still in it. But the British Transport Police aim to stop them in their tracks. Sharon Turner is an inspector with the BTP, the British Transport Police who patrol the nation's railways.
Each day is never the same. There's a lot of problem solving, and I am a fixer. I like to solve problems.
A network's big problems is graffiti.
Graffiti vandals target trains, moving trains, stationary trains, infrastructure on the railway.
Graffiti vandals like to spray their own personal visual signature, known as a tag, far and wide.
The notoriety of getting their name in unique and dangerous places.
The damage costs the rail network millions of pounds.
It's not just somebody just scrawling on the side of a train. It can be the whole side of a train, and some of this graffiti is quite offensive. Acts of this type of vandalism causes trains to be taken out of service to be cleaned. Then that will reflect in the fare that you pay to travel to work. So actually, the bigger picture that it affects all of us.
There's also a human cost. Some graffiti sprayers have been seriously injured or killed after being hit by a train. A tragedy for their families.
And having to explain to them that, you know, their child or their partner is dead because of the actions that they've taken. And then the devastating effects on the driver of that train, who then has to...
Police are so keen to crack down on graffiti vandals. And Sharon's team were handling a case where they had to pursue two prolific and elusive offenders. Sharon is based in the London section of the British Transport Police, with alarming frequency.
The tags were coming in on a daily basis. They were 2 4-letter words. The graffiti was all over London. It was appearing on signal boxes, on trains, in stations.
We've been asked to blur the tags of these vandals to avoid giving them exposure, but the cost of cleaning up after them is rapidly rising.
This is racking into thousands and thousands of pounds worth of damage. We put together an operation which we called Operation Daub.
Officers collect and scour all the CCTV they can in the areas where the offenders have sprayed their tags, but they can't seem to catch them in the act or get a shot of their faces.
Unfortunately, the offenders were obviously doing reconnaissance and they knew where the cameras were, so what little we were gathering in terms of CCTV was extremely poor or blurry, and they are carrying on. It always seems like they're one step ahead of us.
As the BTP is a national force, the team hopes spreading the investigation wider might trigger something.
We have officers all over the country, and the tags and the information was circulated.
And it leads to their first big break in the case. While investigating a separate graffiti offence on his patch in Leeds, a BTP officer seizes a suspect's phone and comes across photos showing 2 other individuals posing by the very same tag Sharon is investigating. It seems graffiti vandals have links around the country too, and the numbers listed for this pair trace back to 2 men from the London area.
So therefore, we had 2 named suspects. Well, now you feel like you're getting somewhere.
And to make sure the suspects don't go anywhere, officers swoop on their addresses to hunt for evidence.
We attended both addresses at exactly the same time, so that one offender couldn't notify the other offender, and then there's a risk of us losing the evidence.
The team are particularly keen to catch one of the suspects whose alleged tag has been sprayed in more places. Now they are confident they have their main offender in custody.
Lo and behold, he's helpfully graffitied his own house with his own tag. He even had a London Underground duvet on his bed, like he was some kind of rail enthusiast. So we knew we were at the right place.
The man even has his tag tattooed on his knuckles. Despite this, when he, along with the other suspect, is arrested and questioned, he denies any responsibility for the crimes.
the offender was just still taking his chances, that the onus was definitely on us to prove that offence, and he was not going to have it any other way.
They seize both suspects' phones but have to wait for them to be analysed to see if they yield any further evidence. Until then, the pair are released on bail.
You know, we only have the power to keep somebody in custody for 24 hours. We can't keep them there indefinitely.
But once the team start downloading files from the seized phones, Sharon's excited to see they've enough proof to prosecute this pair.
There was a whole load of new evidence of them standing next to their tags, videoing each other, spraying the trains, pictures of the tags, pictures of them without covers over their faces or masks, showcasing what they'd done.
There's even a video of them being recklessly close to a speeding train and spraying it as it passes. Then, astonishingly, they find the main offender has committed even more criminal damage since being released on bail.
And did so quite brazenly.
Captured on CCTV, accompanied by another unidentified man, he is seen defacing a tube train.
He was spraying a door with members of the public and passengers actually on the train, and he's just spraying around them.
The cost of this damage isn't just the cleaning involved.
It affects the lifetime of the time, so that the train or the carriage doesn't last as long as it should have. It's frustrating that he really doesn't care. It really doesn't seem to have bothered him that he's been caught and arrested for this.
Unsurprisingly, the man is rearrested.
He was very confident, overconfident, if you like.
But when he sees this footage, the man knows the writing is on the wall.
We showed him the video, which was clearly him, and he finally just said he'd be stupid to say that it wasn't him.
The main offender and second suspect appear at Inner London Crown Court, charged with conspiring to destroy or damage property, the combined cost of which runs to over £130,000.
Both defendants, due to the overwhelming evidence against them, pleaded guilty.
The second man, a 30-year-old, is sentenced to 15 months in prison, suspended for 18 months, while the 33-year-old main offender is sentenced to 6 months in prison.